Welcome back to Surprise Song O'Clock. Unfortunately, mistakes were made today. I thought that surprise songs would be at like 6:30 my time, so I set my alarm for 6:20. And I went on Twitter and found out that she was already in the middle of the first surprise song. So I gave up. I found out what they both were and everything that happened because I was too nosy. And then I went back to bed. I wasn't watching the live stream, so I guess I will watch the performance videos while I crochet. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm failing at this lately. I found a video of everything, so I'm watching that now.
It's gonna do one of my favorite ones.
So I'm kind of surprised she didn't switch this one to piano the second time she did it, because I know the first time she did it, it was supposed to be on piano. I always used to think it was your old favorite tune. Okay, vocals. I mean, it's a classic.
Basically, I'm very excited for April 19th because
Me too.
the Tortured Poets Department will be out. An alternate cover to the Tortured Poets Department that nobody has seen. There is an exclusive song on this vinyl called The Bolter.
I fully would have thought that she was about to play the Bolter. When I was scrolling on Twitter at 6:30 a.m. in the morning, barely awake, seeing this happen, I thought that the Bolter was like a guy who builds. I wasn't thinking like the bolter like he bolts away. I was thinking the bolter like he uses bolts and like screwdrivers and stuff and builds things. I love this alternate cover. I'm not gonna do an extra row for this, mostly because I want to give myself more time to decide what color. I know I said I had decided, but I'm still kind of debating a little bit, just a little. I try to save my extra rows for like the biggest of the big announcements, but it's mostly about the color thing. It's mostly because I don't want to have to commit to a color right now. If you want to add a row in yours, you do you.
You say you don't understand.
It's already so good. I feel like that's gotta be so cathartic to sing that in front of your biggest crowd of your entire career. I do find it interesting that she paired You're Losing Me with an announcement of a new song and a new variant. And I have to think that's pretty intentional because it seems like You're Losing Me was written at a similar time to a lot of the Tortured Poets Department. I don't know, I've been thinking that that song kind of serves as an intro to what this album is gonna be. And her playing it while announcing a new variant and a new bonus track makes me think that even more. And I wonder if it's going to be like a sister song to The Bolter. Maybe. I don't know. I've been waiting for her to do You're Losing Me as a surprise song pretty much since it was released, so I'm very glad that she finally did it. Welcome back to Surprise Song O'Clock. Either I slept through my alarm or it straight up did not go off. I can't win. I don't know what the surprise songs were. I'm going to look them up. My guesses are Mary's song, which I think I'll just keep guessing until it happens, and Maroon. I'm so nervous. I don't know why. Song number 1. Huh? What did she... This is the worst day of my life. I don't like this. Was it mostly Getaway Car? So apparently, she mashed up Getaway Car, August, and The Other Side of the Door, and then she did This Is Me Trying on piano. This is my punishment, apparently, for not being awake for surprise songs. You live and you learn. I'm at a loss. I really am. Okay. I'm not even gonna crochet right now. Clearly, it was mostly Getaway Car. Like, she played the entirety of Getaway Car, basically, but just added those tiny little bits. So I don't love the idea of splitting it into, like, thirds, just because it was very much mostly Getaway Car. My instinct is to just do black. I also don't want to do, like, multiple rows, just because I want each, like, song to have the same amount of space, if that makes sense. I don't know. And I can't even process This Is Me Trying right now. Like, I cannot sit and watch a video of that and crochet right now. So, hold off. There will be another video for the show when I crochet it, probably tonight. But I just wanted to post this because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm screaming inside. Okay, I forgot that I did already set kind of a precedent on this blanket. When she played Is It Over Now and Out of the Woods, which was somewhere in here, it was very much mostly Is It Over Now. But those were from the same album, so I didn't really have to think too hard. So I feel like my options based on that are really to just go by a majority, like what song was most of the time, which was very much Getaway Car in this case, or do like most of the row in black, but like a little section off. I was really crazy, I would do it by like where in the song she did a little bit of August. Is that really stupid? Like, if I do black for most of it, and then like a little bit of gray, and then more black, and then yellow. Is that really stupid? I feel like that's maybe most representative of what happened. I feel like that's the best option. Let me know. Welcome back to Melbourne Night 2 Part 2. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I'm not Australian, obviously. If you didn't see my video from earlier today, I already know what the songs are now, but I was going out of town and also got stressed out by the mashup, so I did not have time to crochet it. But now that I've decided what I'm going to do, and now that I'm back home, I can do it. Be so proud of me because I did math for this. So she started with 170 seconds of Getaway Car, and then 20 seconds of August, then 80 seconds of Getaway Car again, and then 30 seconds of Other Side of the Door, approximately. That's a total of 300 seconds, roughly. So I divided each of those numbers by 300 and multiplied it by 160, which is the number of stitches in one row of my blanket, and then I had a round and stuff to get the exact number of stitches I should do to best approximate the lengths of time that each song was sung for this row of the blanket. So that's what I'm gonna do. Very fun, very math. Hey kids, math is fun. Okay, so I'm doing 90 black stitches first. 43, 44, 45. I really wonder if she knew she was doing this beforehand or just in the moment she was like, I'm gonna make them go crazy. Now I am switching to the gray for Folklore. Its first appearance on this international blanket, amazing, for 11 stitches. Now I have 43 more of the black for Reputation and Getaway Car. So now till the end of the row we do yellow for the other side of the door. Fun's over. Time to watch This Is Me Trying. Dude. Ow. So not only did I miss her singing that song, I missed her singing it like that. That was so, oh. This Is Me Trying is absolutely one of my very favorite Taylor songs of all time, and someday I will find the ability to rank them all because I really want to. But just know that This Is Me Trying is very close to the top. Like, if we didn't lose it so early in the US tour, it probably would have been one of my top 3 choices for surprise songs. I can't believe I'll be doing this again in like 8 hours. Welcome back to Surprise Song O'Clock. It's morning. I'm awake. I did it. I have such a bad feeling. I feel like it's gonna be right where you left me or something crazy. I don't know.
I made like a school where I was like, I'm not allowed to ever play a song twice on the tour. This is sort of like a public service announcement to everyone who might be anywhere else on the tour or whatever, like, or watching this. We have a lot of people. We're very lucky to have a lot of people that like watch this on the internet.
Hi.
So from now on, I'm just gonna like, I don't want to take any paint colors out of the pink colors.
Paint colors.
I want to be able to play songs more than once if I feel like it.
Yay! Does she feel like it? Does she feel like it tonight? Is it Death by a Thousand Cuts? What? Come back, be here? She hasn't done that in 2024, right? Okay, fun. This is such great news for literally everybody. She can do whatever she wants. How exciting. Please don't mash this song up. I'm so afraid. This is time for you when you are worlds away.
Is she doing a mashup?
Is this just how it's gonna be? This is really beautiful. I'm just so mad at her. I'm also realizing it was overdramatic to rip that out because I actually didn't need to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna need a video to be able to crochet this row so I can get like the number of seconds and do the math like I did yesterday. I know that's not necessary, but I like knowing that it's mathematically accurate. So I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna crochet, but I'm gonna watch the next song. I'm scared. Oh, she starts mashing up on the piano. I was gonna say she messed up, but I forgot that rule does not matter anymore. Okay, vocals! She's just killing it lately. Okay, we made it through a piano song without a mashup, so yay. I don't know what to do going forward. Okay, so the problem that I'm facing and the reason that I'm not crocheting right now. Yesterday, when I did the row for yesterday's mashup, I calculated mathematically based on like the length of time the song was sung, how many stitches I needed to do for the song. So like that's when she did August, and then she did more Getaway Car, and then she finished with The Other Side of the Door. I like that visually as a representation of what exactly was played. It throws a wrench in trying to crochet live, so I'm not sure if I need to just start watching with like a stopwatch going, or like if you don't mind I'll just post another video crocheting later, but that just feels like such overkill and I don't want to like make people watch me for that long. Not that you ever have to. So let me know if you have any suggestions on how to handle this new mechanic that we're seeing in surprise songs. I am gonna go back to bed now and reflect on my life choices.
Taylor Swift played yet another surprise song mashup on the Eras Tour, so this is not Surprise Song O'Clock. This is Math O'Clock, in which I show you how I crochet a mathematically accurate row for surprise song mashups. So the first step to this is finding out how long she played each song in the mashup. So I have a full video of the mashup pulled up, and I'm going to watch through and write down roughly how long each song was sung. Okay, so I watched the video. She started with about 2 minutes and 40 seconds of Come Back Be Here, then did 1 minute of Daylight, then 25 more seconds of Come Back Be Here, and then finished with 1 minute and 10 seconds of Daylight. What we need to do next is convert all of those into just seconds. Okay, so if I did that right, it's 160 seconds of Come Back Be Here, 60 seconds of Daylight, 25 seconds Come Back Be Here, 70 seconds of Daylight, 5 seconds of Summer. Anyways, so then once you have those second totals, you need to add them all together to get the total number of seconds that she performed for. Okay, so with 160 plus 60 plus 25 plus 70, we have a total of 315 seconds that she performed this mashup. So another piece of information that you need to know is the number of stitches in whatever project you're doing. So my blanket is 160 stitches across. So then to get the number of stitches that you need to do for each section of the song, what you're going to do is take the number of seconds that that section of the song was performed, divide that by the total number of seconds in the song. This will give you a decimal. Then you multiply that decimal by the number of stitches in your project, and then that will give you the number of stitches that you should do to represent that portion of the song in your project. Does that make sense? There's a reason I'm not a math teacher, but I hope this kind of makes sense. So for example, she started with 160 seconds of Come Back Be Here. So we divide that by 315, which is the total number of seconds that she sang for. So that gives us a decimal of 0.5079 blah 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 blah, and then you will multiply that by the number of stitches in your project, which for me is 160. So that gives me 81.269 blah blah blah. You obviously have to round up or down depending. So I will round that down to 81, which means I will start with 81 stitches of red for Come Back Be Here. And then at the end, you'll just want to add up all the stitch numbers you just found just to make sure you have the correct total. I have 81 plus 30 plus 13 plus 36, which does add up to 160, so I know that I did it right. Depending on how you rounded, you might have to adjust by like 1. So now that I have my stitch numbers, I can crochet my row. 81. So now I switch to pink for 30 stitches. So since I'm using the red yarn again later, instead of cutting the end and having to reattach it later, I am carrying it along with me. I hold it like with the stitch I'm doing and crochet on top of it. And then you can kind of pull it. You can see it showing through, which if that bothers you, then just cut it and reattach it later. And now I have 13 more stitches of red. So again, I'm gonna hold the pink along with me as I crochet so it's there for me later. And then you pull it just a little to hide it so there's not too much excess in the row, but not so much that it like tightens all your stitches. And now we finish off with 36 pink stitches. 36. Okay.
I'm back to crochet the green row for Teardrops on My Guitar. Luckily it's just green all the way through. While I crochet this row, a couple things about the mashup rows. Number one, obviously if you want to do it a more simple way, you can. I like this way for me, but if you want to just do like the color of the first song she plays in the mashup, or I heard some people say to add in some embroidery thread along as you crochet with the colors of the other albums she plays songs from. That's like an easier but still fun way to represent the mashups. Also just wanted to note that when you start doing mashup rows in like a chronological, mathematical way, the way I am, it will create a right side and a wrong side of your blanket. I don't know how to explain it very well. Basically now this side is the beginning of the song, so see how it's red, 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 and then a little pink, then more red, and then more pink. And then see 2 rows ago, we have the yellow, which was at the end for other side of the door in that mashup. It worked out this time because there was 1 row separating them that I didn't have to work the row backwards. I'm not explaining this well, maybe someone can explain it better, but just know that depending on like how many rows there are in between your mashup rows, you might have to start with the end of the song if you want them to line up chronologically. Maybe this doesn't matter to you. It matters to me, so I'm guessing at some point I'll probably have to start with the end of the song first, just so like when I look at it, this side will be the start of all the mashup songs, and then this side will be the end of all the mashup songs. Does that make sense? Anyway, as usual, can't wait for debut Taylor's version. Teardrops on My Guitar is an absolute classic. I think it's the first Taylor song that I remember hearing. I think I've told this story before. I feel like I remember hearing it in a McDonald's play place. That is my first very vague memory of hearing a Taylor Swift song, was Teardrops on My Guitar playing in a McDonald's play place. I didn't become a full-fledged fan until later, but that is the first song from her that I remember hearing. This goes so much faster when I don't have to count.